Hey y'all, welcome back to Date Car Pod. I'm Jenna, and it's Sex Week! Bow, 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 woo woo! Bow chicka bow wow, bow chicka bow wow. It's Sex Week, almost paradise. Uh,
Almost.
I'm
Okay.
knocking on heaven's door. Okay, hi, we're doing it. We're doing it live. Actually, it's not live. It's the next day after Sex Week. And wow, what a kind of weird episode. It was an interesting episode, and I'm so excited to break it down with some of my besties from the bestest. Please welcome back to the podcast, Ash Talks Tea and Epiphany.
Hi.
Thanks, Jenna. So happy to be here. So happy to be here with Ash. Oh my gosh. This has been in the makings for I don't even know how long.
Yes.
It's really, I was
Yes.
like,
I
it's
can't.
when you mentioned it, like we should do it together. I was like, why have we not done that before?
He gets all my rage texts, and I'm like, "Are you seeing this? Am I crazy? Like, what's going on?"
Oh yeah, we'd be in the DMs with lots of thoughts. So we're like, we need to get this down
Hmm.
recorded for sure.
I love it. And I love that we've all built like community through this shitty television show. Because that
One of
makes
the
me
few good
happy.
things to come out of it.
That's so true. Oh my God. Well, so yeah, I talked to you guys both earlier in the season. I guess we're kind of now towards the end. What are your overall thoughts? Are you like Ash? I know specifically you were really trying to protect your peace and not engage in much of the social media. How do you feel like you've gone on that path?
I'm feeling great.
Mm,
I think I just think choosing to watch the show within the context of the show and um I feel like everybody kind of has the same opinion online and it's
mhm,
getting a little stale. So
mhm.
I feel like gaslit a little bit. I know that's a trigger word in our community, but I just don't. I feel like if I don't see other people's content, then I don't have to. Obviously, I like listen to you
Mhm.
and you like people who I'm like, okay, I know they're they're gonna be okay. They're saying they're not just trying to get a reaction. But yeah, I think I've just tried to like watch and root for Grant as much as he will allow me to.
Mhm.
I'm really trying, Grant. He's very millennial coded, and I feel like we're a dying breed. So I'm very proud for the millennial and black representation.
It's good. Do you feel like he's starting to kind of crack a little under the pressure right now? I feel like last night I didn't see much emotion from him, even though we did technically see him cry a little bit and say an I love you. But like I
Mhm.
didn't feel like I was getting much from his eyes, and it made me like worried. And not because I don't think he's here for the in fact, there was one point where I was like, oh shit, yeah, there's the Grant I like fell in love with on Gen season where I really believe he wants a family and a wife and is ready to build his basketball team and the whole meal deal. But I feel like I'm not really seeing it much also in his eyes. And I'm like, I think he's like hiding or something is like he's really stressed out.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Yeah, I can't figure out. It's strange. It's like he's not being vulnerable,
Yeah,
but
that's what I
then
mean.
he is at the same time. Like he's vulnerable, he's not being vulnerable, but then he is emotional and he one thing I realized, just to let everyone know, I was really behind and I just like binged the last like 4 or 5 episodes. So this is all super, super
He's
fresh to me.
psychopath.
I
Bless
don't
you.
I can't believe I'm alive right now, truly. Like I can't believe I can still see, like my corneas aren't burned. But um one thing I realize is that he is willing to be vulnerable about very specific aspects of his life that he talks about freely with the women quite often. But some things he has never really talked about. Like, for example, I have no idea why Grant's last relationship didn't work or how that
Mhm.
affected him and how that changed what he's looking for in a partner. And I feel like that comes up so naturally in this show because it's just a natural thing. Like, normally the lead is in this position because of something that happened in their dating history.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is such a big question mark. And, maybe Grant might have touched upon it lightly earlier. Like, we know he
Yeah.
was in a very long term relationship for like 7 years. But then in this episode, he's like, oh, I've only told one other person that I love them. And I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, but we don't know anything about this person. Like, we don't
Yeah.
know. Like, what was the reason why you broke up? We don't know who ended it. We don't know how that affected you. Like, did that make you more cagey, more or less likely to be vulnerable? Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
And he's very open about his family.
Hmm.
We've learned a lot about that and how that's affected him. But yeah, it's very interesting.
That's a really good point because I do not, I could not. This man could have been celibate before the show, and I would have, it
Hmm.
would have not questioned it because I don't know shit about his girlfriend. I remember, yeah, he briefly mentions it in an early episode, but he's just, I think he's like, oh, it was a good enough relationship. We just were on the different paths, and
Yeah.
I bet she could say some things about me, but we're good. And I'm like, I remember thinking in the moment, I'm like, are we gonna get a scandal? Like, are we gonna get some kind of like Gary right before the finale? He made me pay the rent kind of shit. What's going on? But we haven't yet. And so, I mean, there's still a week and a half left, but where's Grant's ex-girlfriend? And that's fine. I mean, actually, I believe it. I don't think there's probably not any real,
Juicy tea.
juicy DT. So that's great with me. But yeah, it is like they're probably, I don't know. I guess I think he's like slightly um naive and like immature in love and relationships because of a lot of his trauma as a child and his family, which is
Hmm.
like totally fine. That's not a dig. It's just like I'm like, go to therapy more. And I listened to him talk to I listened to the episode he did with Caitlin Bristow, and he talks about how much he loves therapy now, and it was like a little bit of like a now, and I was like, oh, so you weren't really in
Hmm.
it much before. I think he must have gone here and there, but like then I wonder, like, was the therapist just the one he went to on Jen's season? Because if that's the case, don't trust that bitch. That's a show therapist. Like, like I don't. Anyway, so I
Yeah,
just
I mean, Jenna,
worry.
you make a really good point in terms of like knowing what we know about him.
Hmm.
It is very
Hmm.
clear that Grant was forced to grow up at a pretty
Hmm.
Hmm.
young age and be very independent and take care of
Hmm.
himself. So maybe that's how he has approached relationships.
Hmm.
Maybe like he just hasn't had the chance to be that introspective in terms of how his past relationship has affected
Yeah,
what he
Hmm.
wants
yeah,
in a future relationship
yeah.
because he just is so focused on how his upbringing has influenced him.
Which is a good,
Hmm.
frankly, a good way to do it in some ways. I mean, so many people
Yeah.
Hmm.
ignore their family upbringing,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, they're married and they're repeating the trauma before, eh?
Hmm.
And he could have said stuff and they're just
Oh,
editing a
that's a good point.
particular way.
Yeah, that's a good
But
point.
I think for him to be in therapy at all and like crying, I feel like that's enough of a, well, I feel like that's not enough because he needs to obviously be like a fully emotional available partner. But I
Hmm.
think considering all that he's been through, like, I don't, and I'm interested to see the conversation with him and his dad and how
Hmm.
that goes. But I don't know if he was necessarily taught how to express his emotions. So maybe he's just doing the best he can with what he's got. I don't know if y'all have heard Mariah Carey say that before.
Oh, of course. Of course. Iconic.
That's what I think
Yeah.
he's doing. Yeah.
Well
And it's
said.
like, and I every season, especially last season and this one, I'm always beefing with the producers, beefing with the
Hmm.
editors
Yeah.
because I feel like they've let a lot on the cutting room floor that would help
Hmm.
us really understand Grant's personality
Hmm.
better. And it's really frustrating because they did a pretty good job with that with Joey's season where they
Hmm.
really gave him moments to for us to understand who he was outside of this whole like outside of the romance, the relationships that he was forming. It was like, who
Hmm.
is Joey? What is Joey looking for? And with Grant, it's like they just and I think truly like we are 2 episodes less than Joey's
Yeah.
Yeah.
season
Yeah.
and some seasons 3 because sometimes it's 12 episodes. Joey's was 11 and
Yeah.
this is 9 and it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really feeling I feel that loss. I
Yeah.
feel like I didn't
Hmm.
get enough time to know Grant and I didn't get enough time to know the women.
Hmm. And charity season was the same way. I feel like, and she's gone on TikTok and been a little vocal about giving Grant grace because,
Yeah.
we're seeing a highly edited show. And with less episodes
Hmm.
and a lot of time focused on the drama, like it's come at the expense of him. I think he's tried to handle things as fairly as he could.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think
Hmm.
I do see what you're saying. Like sometimes when he's listening to someone, it's kind of like a vacant look a little bit. And I don't know if he's just like compartmentalizing, shutting
Hmm.
off. I know I try when people tell you like really traumatic things and you're trying to keep a straight face and you're processing, like, am I listening okay? Like, what am I gonna
Yeah.
say? So he could just be like, I feel like it's really difficult to do that in general and then on camera, but I can see there's like a little bit of, I don't want to say he's dead in the eyes. That's not a good
No,
way,
I'm
but
more
Or like
worried
he,
about him. I'm more worried.
hmm
I'm definitely not on the team of Bachelor Nation that's like Grant's boring. Like I think he's
hmm
no,
boring in the sense that you're right. Like the show is not showing
no.
us enough of
hmm
him, but I
hmm
know that not to be true of who he is. But it's like because I listen to
hmm
Party Girls every week. I know Grant.
Going triple platinum in your household.
I know him. Okay. Um, but and he's funny and cringy and he's millennial, like you said, Ash. His
He's very
videos have
That's
millennial
true.
coded.
there's a pause, it's cringe,
hmm
it's not well done, but it's that's
hmm
what makes it good.
Yes.
But
He's not polished. He's not
no,
No.
polished,
exactly.
and I think, and same with his social media. It's like you
Yeah,
could tell that man is running his own social
yeah,
media. And
no.
No
truly,
help.
Grant, if you ever would have listened to this podcast, the
Hey, Grant.
one, my number one suggestion after the show ends is for you to get a social media manager. That is my number one
Please.
suggestion.
And I'm available.
Yes.
Hit me up, Jenna Vesper.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I'm less critical. I don't think he's being dead. I think he's fucking freaked. We talked last week on
Yeah.
I did a collab with
Mm.
Rosé Noir, and I
Oh.
realized I hadn't brought this up before. I watched this interview he did with like a ET or extra correspondent who
Okay.
was a black man who was so
hmm
excited to interview him. He was like a fan of the
hmm
show, and he was like, "How do you feel being ever the second ever Black Bachelor?" You
hmm
know, kind of went into that, and Grant was like, was gave like the most bland answer because I think he was like being forced to, right, by the show,
hmm
and it felt unlike Grant. And then he was like, has Matt James reached out to you to giving you advice? And he said no. And I, at that moment, was like terrified because I was like, oh no,
hmm
not that Matt, like his experience was obviously rough too, but I was like, Matt could have given him like
hmm
advice and
hmm
something. And so I feel like Grant just went into this completely like with no like guidance.
hmm
And not that he's not capable of doing it, but I was just like, oh, I feel for him and I really hope he's like okay, you
hmm
know? I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like Matt's breakup. I don't know.
Right.
I feel like Matt's breakup happening at the beginning of Grant's
Seasons.
season did him
It
no
didn't help him at all.
favors
No
because
favors.
people were just like lumping them in together. And that's when I
Yeah.
made a conscious decision, like, stay off of the internet.
Yeah.
I don't think I think Matt just wants to like cut all ties, period. So I
And
get
he'd already
him not
started doing that.
responding.
Yeah.
Say it again.
And I feel like he'd already had started doing that.
Yes,
Like
of
he'd
course.
already been
Yeah.
hmm
distancing himself from the
Yeah.
franchise.
hmm
But I think you make a really good point, Jenna. I can only imagine how alone Grant must feel in this
hmm
process because not only is the only other Black Bachelor just not really, working with the franchise at all, but Grant is just so like different from
Yeah.
other
hmm
bachelors in general.
Yeah.
Like
hmm
he is not cut from that bachelor mold.
Yeah.
Like
hmm
he like in a way that like even Charity is so wonderful. And she's able to connect with different bachelorettes in different ways and not just the ones who were Black bachelorettes.
Right.
hmm
And I'm not saying Grant's not wonderful, but it's just Grant, I feel like is just from what
He's
we've
different.
seen,
Yeah.
his personality and the kind of person that he is. I truly don't see him like kicking it with former Bachelor leads moving
Yeah.
forward.
Ari.
I know. Yeah. Even
Did I
like
say Ari?
Peter or
Yeah, because he made me mad.
Zach
I'm
or
mad at Ari
any.
now.
Yeah.
You
And you know
said
what?
Ari. If anything,
And
I feel unfortunate he's going to try to lean towards Nick because Nick's the only one who's made an olive branch for him twice. I mean,
uh
obviously paid to by the franchise probably to have him on the podcast, but like he's been on the pod twice now. So the only
hmm
man that Grant has any fucking connection to in this franchise is the
mhm.
devil
Well,
himself.
And
I do think
Joey,
Jesse likes
Well,
him
Joey.
though. I
Well,
will
yes, and
say
Jesse, yeah.
Jesse
yeah.
looks genuinely excited to hang out with him. I feel
Mhm.
like Jesse like him. Jesse like
Joe,
Charity. I feel like
he
I
liked
can't.
Joey
I don't
too, I
think
think,
Hmm.
because
he
they
like
were
who?
always Joey. I feel like they were
Yeah,
always
he
playing
did. He
tennis.
did like Joey. He wanted to play all the time. He
And
was very
same
fun.
even
Was.
with Garrett, even with Grant right now too. Like again, I binged all these episodes, and I swear I have never seen so much Jesse playing sports. This man is
Hmm.
playing basketball one episode. This man is playing
hmm
golf one episode. He's playing
hmm
basketball, and like he loves the fact that he could just kick it with some
He
of
does.
these bachelors, and
He
I
does.
was like, Chris Harrison would never.
He could
No,
never. Found
no,
dead in a
Never.
ditch.
no.
I
So hopefully
can't.
Jesse's actually giving him advice more than the 3 minutes that we see
Yeah.
Hmm.
every day. But yeah, Grant is kind of on an island by himself, but I think I think it's still a good season. Like I'm getting a little tired of people being like, if you just watch it outside of like, okay, Joey was a great bachelor. I do not want to get into
Yeah.
any entanglements with any Joey fans. But like I think you kind of have to like take each season and just like separate it and kind
Yeah.
of
You
like
should.
watch it
Yeah.
for who he is. And I think Grant was such a unique choice.
Yeah.
And I think he's very attractive. I just don't understand. Well, I don't understand why people are so anti-Grant and like this franchise is dead and everything is ending and crashing and burning. And I think we're at a crossroads, but we've been there for a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Grant's
Yeah.
season is not the nail in the coffin. I
No,
hope
not
I'm
by any
not
means.
speaking and then they
Oh,
cancel
No,
everything and then
and
people were
truly,
right.
I think you
Josh.
make a good point, Ashley, where like you talk about being at a crossroads, and I feel like we were at this crossroads around like Clayton no, not
Hmm.
Clayton. After Clayton, it was Gabby, Rachel,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then after them, it was
Zach.
Zach.
Hmm.
And then okay, I think we were at a crossroads around like Zach's
Yeah.
season. I
Yeah.
Okay.
think because we were getting similar feedback. It's boring,
Yeah.
Hmm.
like he's not a good lead,
Hmm.
right? And I think Charity and Joey kind of like injected a
Hmm.
little bit of,
Yeah.
you know, like joy and fun into the
Hmm.
franchise,
Hmm.
and it almost made people forget that we were already in a very bad position.
Agreed.
And now that we have Grant, it's kind of like, well, a lot of the issues that we've had 3, 4 seasons ago, we still have those issues.
Yeah.
And I still think it's very unfair to put all this on Grant because
Absolutely.
I don't think any of it is Grant's fault. And to be honest, when I look back and I'm like, what is truly the key issue with this season? I don't
Hmm.
think this season was well cast.
That's it.
I
That's
think
it.
I
That's
think
it.
these women were not memorable and they were not good.
Well, no,
Sorry.
and they announced him early in order to get more women on the season.
Hmm.
And I guess I would feel that I agree that no one was there seemingly not for him. You
Hmm.
know, maybe did we? I guess we maybe solved that quote unquote issue,
Hmm.
referencing the issue of Jen's season, right?
Hmm.
That was not cast for her. I think we can now at
Hmm.
this point say that,
But like, I still don't see
unfortunately.
that bothers me because I'm like, who was it? Are they for Maria or
It
Dave?
was,
Oh,
I think. Or Daisy, I
I
mean.
don't see how either of them would have been
I
compatible with them
agree.
either. Like I genuinely don't. Like I've been
True.
trying.
Yeah. Well,
They're
I do
not
think
for
they
Jen
just picked
either.
shitty men too. I mean,
Yeah. These girls, I think they focused on the wrong girls. Like,
mm,
I love Bailey. I love Serafina.
right,
Alex was
right.
great. Like,
Alex,
we just got too
obviously.
much Carolina
Yeah.
and Dina. But Carolina, honestly, I did not like. Ooh, I hate saying I did not like. She was not for me on the show, but her like social media is funny enough to the
Yeah.
point that I'm like, okay, girl, I'll follow you. Like that was funny. A
Hmm.
little
Yeah.
back and forth was cute, but I agree that the mix of women, like when was the last time we've had a good Bachelor cast? I would say Peter Weber, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
That
I
was
mean,
great.
actually, but you know what though? Jasenia got engaged, I think today.
I saw
And that
that.
reminded me that Matt James had some top-notch
Oh
women.
yeah, they
Baddies.
did. Oh yeah, no, he did. Yeah.
Ugh,
Matt James had a really good cast.
Yeah.
And
baddies.
Ashley, you make a really good point. Like, I do think there were some good women on Grant season,
Hmm.
but they didn't get a lot of screen time
Yeah.
and they were
Right.
gone too soon.
Hmm.
And it
Yeah.
was weird. I
Yeah.
feel like Grant had more of a connection with women like Serafina and Alex than
Hmm.
Dina and Zoe. Like,
Right.
I don't understand how they didn't make it further. So
Right.
it's hard when you get into this top four and you really
Hmm.
only see connections with two people. And to be honest, barely two people.
Barely.
Right.
And
Okay,
and
this
it's
is yeah, exactly. I'm like, we now we have to get into the what we're dealing with now. I was like, I turned into
Mhm.
my girlfriend, my friend last night. I was like, who? What? I don't even see it with
Mm,
these two women. Like,
mm,
really? What happened? How did we get
mm,
here?
and truly this season to me lacks romance.
Yeah.
I will say like Joey's season had me kicking my feet because
Hmm.
I felt like I was watching people fall in love. And then not just Joey season, Charity season,
Hmm.
watching her
Yeah.
fall in love with Dotton. God, that was beautiful. Even a lot of people shit on Zach season. And every time I come on this podcast, I evangelize how Zach season was low-key good. Okay. And
Yeah.
and you
Katie's my
saw that
girl.
man. I- and you see him fall in love with Katie. You
Yes.
Hmm.
see it happen. So for me, I'm just like, where is the romance this season?
Yeah.
I do not truly feel like Grant is falling in love with anyone, despite him already telling someone he loves them.
Straight up, I love you, no falling. I would agree with that statement. I think again, if it's a short process, y'all. It's
Hmm.
8 weeks. There's longer time in like a grading period. Okay. Like kids get a longer time to prove that like I just think 8 weeks is like a crazy short time. And then from that, it's not like you're spending every day with this
Ashley,
person. Like
you
I
need
get
to
90 minutes
just
a
no.
day with these people. You get
Now
how
you
many
bringing
days?
some realism to this
You know what I'm saying? But
situation.
I just feel like it's a crazy amount of time. Like any love story we've actually seen is truly an anomaly. And like if we just let go of, which I agree with you, I feel like the best, and I know this is gonna, some of the girls might want to tussle, but Tyler and Hannah to me had the best little
Woo!
romance. I know.
Don't get me started now.
I know. I just feel like that date on the boat, like that was when I was like, "Ooh, I'm actually feeling this." I'm swooning
That massage.
when
Woo!
they were dancing. They were in the high school, and all the people were looking at them. Or whatever. I was like, I feel it. I don't know, and
Chemistry.
I haven't felt a high since Tyler came out on AFR. That's the last time,
Mm,
and I
mm.
felt like, oh, okay, this is. I mean,
You're
so I feel
preaching.
like any Charity and Dotton, that's an anomaly. We will not
Hmm.
get that again. Like, but I do think that we don't have any. I was telling my friend that I don't have anyone to really root
No.
for.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
And if I can't root for Grant and I don't know these girls like that, and the girls that I was interested in,
Are
like, I
gone.
guess I'm gonna be rooting for them in a few months on Paradise. I mean, it is what it is. I think if he has like I felt this way about Jen's season. Also don't want to
Yeah.
tussle, but it was only memorable at the end
Hmm.
Because of
when
the
everything went
infidelity. That bad. Yeah, exactly.
awful.
Yeah.
And
No.
after that, then it was like, okay, I'm gonna remember this season because I had checked somebody who like has a whole page dedicated to the Bachelor. Like I had checked out. I was like, wow, I'm on my phone a lot more than I am watching this episode. And I started getting that way with this season too. But I think, if there's a controversial who's he gonna pick at the end, like it might come out okay in the fourth quarter, or if he's single now or whatever. I think I want to reserve judgment just a little bit. I know it's a lot of heavy lifting for two episodes to deliver, and I'm thinking it'll be lackluster when we look back on it for sure, because there is not a true. I think he would be all in with Latia if there wasn't the Mormon aspect, and he knows in the back of his head that that's not the lifestyle for him. And I think his mom is gonna go a little Barb next week. I really do.
Oh, we're gonna get Bar
I
Part
think she's gonna go a little Barb
Two.
next week, and I think his parents or his family might influence the decision that he makes, which is kind of what happened with Ari. I feel like Ari wanted to pick Lauren, and his
Lauren.
parents were like, Becca's the better choice. So if something like that happens,
Hmm.
I think it could be salvage. Even
Mhm.
Colton, oof, sorry. But even like with the whole Hannah and Cassie at the end, and like her, like I feel like sometimes these two episodes do a lot of
Yeah, no, I mean, I
heavy
was
lifting.
invested in Colton even with the Cassie of it all, or Susan,
Jumping that fence.
Susie, sorry, Clayton.
That
Oh, you talking about
oh
Clayton?
Clayton,
Clayton,
damn it,
Ugh,
fuck, how many
it's all right.
times?
it's been so long.
I could never. I did the whole season too anyway with Susie too, and
Yeah.
that whole thing was like quite interesting. Yeah, and Zach's of course was great, and like I feel like we're not even talking about those fantasies yet because we were just so interested in the dynamics.
Oh
But this
yeah.
is why I wanted you guys on because I love talking about this part because it's like oh how did we get here, and I agree
Yeah.
so hardly. I don't root I think that's why I was so delusional with Zoe, not that Zoe wasn't worthy of making it to the
So
final two. In
pretty.
fact, I think she should have, but I was like obviously this morning I woke up, I was like, well, obviously it was not gonna happen. They had no time together.
Right.
Their fantasy suite was a silent date. they didn't know each other, they
Crazy.
didn't know shit about each other. But I was like
You are not a
so delusioned for her because that's who I wanted to root for. Like you said, I need somebody to root
Yeah.
for. So I'm sitting here being
Yeah.
like, that has my girl.
Underdog.
I personally I would have gone home if I made it to hometowns and I had no one-on-one, there's no way in hell.
Crazy.
I would have gone home. There's no
Yeah.
way. And
Yeah.
I just truly, and I think you both have made really valid points, especially like Ashley saying like at the end of the day, this is a very short process. And I really think it's really a production issue, and I've said this
Mm-hmm.
already, an editing issue.
Mm-hmm.
I think the moments are there. I think the
Mm-hmm.
moments are there and they are
Ooh.
choosing not to show them.
Ooh.
I'm sure there's a way to edit and cut this season where
Mm-hmm.
we actually see a
Mm-hmm.
love story happen. But the thing is that these people are so much more concerned with having an explosive finale that they're like,
Mm.
we're just gonna, it doesn't matter what we do leading up to. We just want to make it seem
Mm.
like it's gonna be the most dramatic finale ever.
Mhm.
And again, not protecting your lead,
Yeah.
and that's the issue that we keep on coming. I mean, they did that to Jen last season.
Bad.
And we thought we were on a right track after they seemingly protected Joey and Charity, but they're back on their bullshit. Like they're back on throwing. They're willing to throw their lead under the bus for the sake of drama,
Yeah.
because Grant is not the first Bachelor or the first lead to have to make a choice the day of or the day before.
Mm-mm.
No.
Leads have admitted that before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jason Mesnick, Ari Lyndike.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's we could get a list going if we needed to. So
Benjamin
this
Higgins.
this is not new. This is
Mm-mm.
not new. But they are really hamming it up, and in the meat,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes Grant look bad. It makes him look
Yes.
indecisive that
Yeah. Yeah.
it makes him look careless, which is not
Mm-hmm.
the case.
Mm-mm.
So,
No notes.
And speaking of which, I think there was even an
Well played.
interview that he did somewhere. I saw it in print, and it might have been
Mm-hmm.
maybe it was
Ooh.
a video interview he did, but like I was reading my newspaper.
How millennial
The Oregonian, they got all
doing
the
your
way out here
crosswords,
to the West Coast,
Yeah.
yeah. And he like basically was trying to allude that the show is fucking him over with the narrative that he literally was down to the wire. He like tries to be
Hmm.
like, no, I was pretty certain. And then at the last minute, there was a moment that he kind of edges. There was a moment that kind of made me, had a lot of emotions, and I wondered,
Mm-hmm.
but I was pretty certain. So he was like almost kind of like, I think he even like kind of drags Jesse. He's like, I don't know why Jesse's saying I don't know who to choose. I should find that where I saw this, but I was like, oh, Grant, I
Jesse.
love you. Keep going, buddy. Keep telling him. But
Oh.
I'm sure he'll do it on the Vile Files. Anyway, okay. Another thing. Okay, so God, okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
Because, and this, okay, I don't give a shit about order, actually, because I want to talk about this part, because and onto
Okay.
that thread,
Mm-hmm.
I found it incredibly interesting, and this is one of the reasons I love this episode season too, is I do think there's all these really weirdly candid moments. He
Mm-hmm.
literally says, after he tells Latia he loves her, and then sends her on the way, and then we got to get into the weird thing where we start meeting his parents already, and I was like, oh no, it's 3 hours, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
what
kill
was
myself.
that?
Anyway,
It
I was like, no. Okay, he's like, maybe I should send the other ones home. Because, or I should send the other one home. Because what do you do? What do you do in this situation when I am already in love with her, but
Mhm.
I am very close to falling in love with another woman?
Mhm.
Do I stop this process? Because
Mhm.
why go further? And I've never heard a lead say it like that. And I was sad. I was like, oh my God, exactly. What a question. I know that's what happens in some level, but like, holy fuck. Should I just stop now? Because at this point now I'm actually gonna enter into a bad zone of falling in love with the other one.
Mhm.
What's interesting to me is that exact moment made it clear to me that he completely ignored Joey's advice from from back in town.
Well, and you would, because you just watched the episode.
Exactly. Complete, because so the key to Joey gave him really good advice. And the key takeaway was don't get ahead of your feelings. He's like, if you feel
Hmm.
something, you sit with the feeling, don't act on it just yet.
Hmm.
Because he was like, as you continue down the process, you learn new things, your feelings start to
Hmm.
change as you go on. That's why you have to complete the
Mm.
process. Because he said, I think he was like, not until was it Kelsey's hometowns or was it Fantasy Suites? I think he said Fantasy Suites
Mhm.
when that was when he really was starting to get a clear idea. But he's like the feelings and the thoughts that I had early on, if I had just acted on those, then I didn't have all the information essentially. He's like, as you
Mhm.
continue down the process, you start to learn more things and
Mm.
you get to understand your feelings a little bit better. So it's like at this point he might be saying, I'm already in love with Latia. Why even consider? But maybe in the finale he learns more about Juliana that pushes his feelings
Hmm.
farther than how he feels about Latia. That's why you can't just sit here at this moment, tell someone you love them already.
Mm. Because they showed it. That's my thing. I feel like it might happen in other like dates that they don't show it.
They chose
But
to
I feel
show
like
it
because they chose to show it, I was like, oof, that is not a good sign.
because if he picks Juliana, that is going to be this is the thing. How is the audience going to root for that relationship after having seen this?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't care about
They
that.
don't give You're right. They don't give a fuck. You're right. You're right. They don't care. They don't
Circa
care.
Rachel, Lindsay, Peter Krause,
They don't care.
Dr. Airfryer. Not that I give a shit about his feelings anymore.
I forgot.
Can eat
Also, she's dating a
fucking
new person
rocks.
now. She's
Oh,
got a new boo. He's
They're
hot.
very cute.
and
Very
Mm-hmm.
do you
cute.
guys know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's a black country artist. Is it Willie
Mm-hmm.
Jones?
Wait, did
Yeah,
she
and he's
announce it?
30. I was like, get a girl.
Did she
Get
announce it?
a girl.
It was like a soft launch kind of. Like
Mm-hmm.
she posted photos and he was in one of them, but she kind of like but Page Six I think had an exclusive
Mm-hmm.
for TMZ and then she
Mm-hmm.
basically confirmed it on her podcast.
Okay, no, because all week Connie and I have been talking about it because Connie's been on the tip as well, but like Connie missed the confirmation or like not, you said it's not a confirmation, it was like a speculation.
Hmm.
But okay, I cannot wait. I have to text Connie immediately.
I'll try and find the
Yeah.
clip where she and Van are talking about it
No.
because I think Van like brings up Willie and
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "Oh wait, should I even talk about this?" And she was like, "Well, it's already been leaked
Okay,
to the
I need that
tabloids,
clip.
so
Yeah, Connie
okay,
was
yeah, I'll
screen
find it."
recording me other clips of where she mentions Willie, but not that moment. And so we're really excited because we're going to Cowboy Carter on May 1st, and we are praying that Willie Jones is there. You know, does is like his collab with Beyonce, and then
Yeah.
or that also
You
just
give me
even if he's just there and that Rachel's there. Please, everyone, manifest that Rachel's at our show on May 1st at SoFi Stadium. Oh my God, I can't.
keeping my fingers crossed for you.
Thank you.
But yeah, so our queen Rachel, love her so
No,
much.
she has moved on and gone up, but glowed up. But yeah, no, they don't care about what. But yeah, I mean, I think you're
No.
right, and it just sucks. And yeah, and I don't like Juliana because of her MAGA tendencies. So she
Man,
was never gonna win in my heart. But it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, but like just from like the outside perspective of like how is he gonna have a successful relationship with her when the audience is gonna be like, what the fuck? And then he's gonna have all this high mountain to climb with her, and then they're gonna have losers like me being like, I didn't like her anyway.
hmm
It's fuck, man.
Yeah,
and
he's
even oh, sorry, Ashley, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was even outside of the MAGA stuff, which really turned me off to her. I just they've done a poor job of showing their
Yeah,
connection.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a very poor job, and I think it's always hard when I know drama is a big part of the show and you have to focus on it, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at the very least they typically try to protect some of the final women. Even if they were part of the drama, they don't really show them engaging in it that much. And they really didn't care. Like they showed Latia getting into it with the Carolina situation and they showed Juliana as well. So it's just like you got these women who were very much a part of this big drama in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, we don't really get a chance to see their connection.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, like one is MAGA and the other one has a questionable religion. So who that literally says that black people with melanin or black people are like demons in their text. So
Well, good luck to Grant. That's all I can say, but I don't see a successful relationship coming out of I don't know. I feel like we're gonna have to do a post-mortem once we get all of the season and see
Mhm.
where he currently is, but it's not looking good for our boy. And I agree with you, even if I didn't know any of the information that you so succinctly presented, it does not appear like he has a strong connection with either of them. And yeah, that's editing's fault. I agree.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
also at
Yeah.
the end of the day too, like a lot of this stuff isn't Grant's fault, but the one thing he does have control of is who he picks.
Yep.
And he decided to make these women his final picks.
Yep.
And that's on him. And it's just very fascinating to me is that we yet again have another black bachelor who ends up having in his final two a woman who has mm, questionable beliefs,
That are at
especially.
odds with his identity.
Thank you, that are at odds with his identity. It's like it's very frustrating that this is what we're seeing yet again.
But if he can live with it, I mean,
If
I
he,
truly don't know what to say. Like, I, I didn't come into the season with any expectations, so I'm not disappointed, but I imagine some people might be.
damn Ash.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't mean it, but I mean, you keep getting shot down, your hopes, like, why come into it with any expectations? Like,
No, it was like, what was it, week two? I was with you, Epiphany, maybe? Was it week
Yeah.
two? And then I said, oh yeah, oh, Juliana's MAGA. And you're like, oh, okay, so that's who he's picking. And I like
oh,
screamed and like, was like, I was like, that wasn't a spoiler. Epiphany doesn't know shit. But it was the
That's all I needed to
darkest
know.
thing. Yeah, it was the darkest fucking
That's
thing
all I
because I
needed
was
to know.
just like, damn it.
What I will say, my black bachelorettes would
no.
never, even though who knows what Dr. Airfryer's beliefs
Ugh.
are.
I was thinking about Zach. I was like, wait a minute. Would
Mhm.
they never? I don't know.
Oh,
Well, I
I
mean, she
don't know.
didn't
You
pick
know
him,
what?
but she didn't pick him.
But Zach doesn't give me MAGA vibes. You talking about
No,
Tasha?
Yeah, I
Zach,
was talking about Zach and Tasha.
yeah, Zach and
oh,
Tasha.
right, right, right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
He doesn't.
Well,
He
But yeah,
doesn't
I
give
don't.
me.
Yeah, I don't know.
no, I know he's not MAGA, but he's like buddies with that bro that runs the sports bar or bar stools or whatever,
Mhm.
who's a fucking loser.
Oh.
So I
Mm.
don't think he's MAGA, but I think Zach's like, you know, a dude, like a guy I wouldn't want to spend time with, you know.
Mhm.
But you know what, Caitlin is all yours.
Who knows what's going on over there?
I have felt so much freer when I just stopped following Bachelor people that I don't care for. Because I'm gonna find out their news anyway. So
Yeah.
haven't heard that name in weeks. Been fine. Like,
Oh, you didn't hear about how she wants to do a podcast celebrating 10 years since her season, and she
see
wants to
what?
invite all of the men that were on her season who have moved on, many of them probably married with children. Like, imagine her getting Sean Booth on a podcast to talk about
That
that
will
shit
never
stuff.
happen. His new girlfriend, what's her name? Dre. What's her
Mhm.
name?
They have
I
a
don't know
baby and
her
She
they're
will
name.
never.
happy, and Caitlyn could never. Sorry,
I,
that
j-
was the meanest thing I've ever said. Um,
I just cannot. I wish that whole and as a millennial, like I do I do acknowledge that we are in the same age bracket. I'm not trying to be younger than I am. But I wish that generation of The Bachelor would just let it go. Please. Please.
They're trying to
10 years ago, please.
hold on to their
I
little
feel so
15 minutes.
fucking old. That's actually like fucking me up so hard because she
Me
was like,
too.
because I've been watching such Pavelka, Jake Pavelka. So I mean, obviously, I know how long I've been doing this disgusting habit. I understand it's rotting my brain out through the fucking ear holes, but
It's
like
not.
that's not okay. That since
No.
Caitlyn, since I met Nick Viall, actually not even that. I was on fucking met him the year before. Landy Norfin.
What just happened?
Her brain short circuited for a second.
We saw it in real time. Be
You like
like,
if we talk
wait.
about Nick Viall too much, Jenna just resets, like goes back to factory settings because
Uh,
Can we
I
get whatever the
mean,
severance thing is before Nick Viall and my brain? Like, fucking hell.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I
well,
just think, I mean, I don't know. I guess they don't have any. I don't want to stop anyone from getting a bag, a coin, a dollar. I'm all about in this economy doing what you.
Bitcoin.
I'm just like,
That's right.
girl. Also, I guess Nick did the same thing with his season. So you know what? Maybe, you know what, Caitlin, if people are interested, I am not the target audience, but if you can finesse some coins out of that rewatch, then go ahead.
You know she
But I
will.
will not be participating.
So, going back to this episode real quickly.
While we're
The,
Thank
here.
God, because like I can't talk about the Nick Viall review of his season right now, or we will not leave the same call. I actually have about 30 minutes of feelings about it, but we're not going to do it.
one thing, something happened this episode
Mhm.
that either has never happened before or has been a very long time since this happened. We saw Grant eaten.
He did eat that breakfast.
That's all I
He
said.
was eating, he was chomping down. And as
He
I'm
did eat
watching
that
this, I
breakfast.
go, now I understand why they don't show people eating on the show.
He did eat that breakfast. He was eating
I
good.
think it was with was it the Juliana one, I
Yeah.
think? It
Mhm.
was
It
the
was
She
first.
whatever
asked
one he
him,
didn't make.
yeah, and she asked a question, and he was like,
He had like a mouthful of food.
Yeah, he was like,
He was
okay.
chowing down. That man was hungry.
He was. I did notice that. Um,
which leads to, briefly, I think before I forget, we must do the official Fantasy Suites Sex Week game.
did they or did they not?
Did they or did they not?
Mm,
My favorite game.
what?
I know it's a little crass, and I want anyone who's listening who takes this seriously to unclench your asshole and go
Oh
touch some
God.
grass because we're not really being. It's not that big of a deal, okay? But we're gonna be silly with it. So, what do we think
Okay.
happened in the fantasy suites? Did they fuck?
He
Did
slept
they
with both
not
of them.
fuck? What?
Both of
Absolutely.
well, why did okay, I know this is not
Because
part of the
why
game.
did why did Zoe end up on the beach in the morning? We didn't see her
What was
room.
that? I was like, dang, why are we starting
Mm,
here? Okay, that's what I was about to say. I just
that's a
thought that
good
was an
question.
odd choice. Like, why are we on the beach? So, but Latia clearly not. They made it very evident that they
Mm-mm,
had the biggest suite I've ever seen on the show.
mm-mm.
They had so much room. They were like, there's no room for ambiguity. He was not involved.
They didn't sleep in the
Um,
same bed. He probably went back
no,
to his room. Yeah.
it looked like when he walked in there was just so much space to get to her. Good morning.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a long time. But
Hmm.
Juliana, I think yes. Zoe, I don't know because of the way they shot it in the morning. I don't know. I thought that was weird that they just went to the beach because we didn't have any like I couldn't look at them and just like I feel like it
Mhm,
was too out of context to be able to tell.
mhm.
That's my
There were
feeling.
no physical indicators the way that we've seen in previous seasons. When I say physical indicators, like for
Mhm.
example, I know I'm not trying. I'm promise I'm not trying to compare Grant's season to
I know
Joey's.
I know what
Joey
you're
just
gonna bring
happens to
up.
be the last Bachelor. Joey had like his hair was longer than it is
Hmm.
now, and it was very much sex hair. That man had a
Must.
really good night. It was must.
Hmm.
Like, it was definitely, especially with him and Kelsey. Absolute Kelsey.
Hmm.
Is that right? Okay, did I forget her name
Yeah,
for a
that's her
second?
name.
It is Kelsey.
Hmm.
Okay, good.
Hmm.
Woo! Yeah,
BBL Kelsey.
BBL Kelsey. I need to issue an apology to the podcast
Ooh.
because last season I said that Joey and Kelsey were not a good fit. I cannot believe I had this opinion. And that if he were to pick her, they would not last. And I have been eating my words ever since because I
Ooh.
think they are very cute.
Yeah, I think it was
Lord, I hope that
jealousy.
this.
I think it was
Oh.
jealousy.
It should have been me.
And I think that's fair, and I'm really proud of you for admitting it.
I
I
am the
will.
biggest Kelsey Joey stan now. Sorry, go ahead,
Yeah.
Ashley.
I will say that I am interested in what happens. First of all, I'm very invested in whether he will be able to complete this 30 for 30 because Joey, you're turning 30 in like May,
His
and
birthday's like 2 days before mine.
he has like 15 things left to do. That's what I'm
Okay,
really
okay.
stressed about.
But okay, I've been having the same concern, Ashley. But out of actually it's less than 15. I think it's like 10 now. But out
Okay.
of those 10, at least like 5 to 6 of them are pretty simple that could be done in LA. Like one
Okay.
is like rollerblade in Venice Beach, one's go to
Okay.
Disneyland, one's
Okay.
take a pottery class. I cannot believe I know this. Oh
You
gosh.
are rolling
Um,
off these.
and then, well, then also there's some that could be combined, right? Like one is take his
Okay.
dad on a trip, and another one's like go to Japan. He could take his dad to Japan. That's possible.
Boom,
Maybe
boom.
he's spending his birthday in Japan. That's also
Mhm.
possible, right?
Okay. Okay.
So
I would love
But
that.
I said all that to say I am a little, I'm interested to see what their life is like when it slows down because I
Hmm.
do not think they've had that. And I
Hmm.
think
I
Dot
agree.
and Charity's transition was really like, I think they've spoken about like how like adjusting and fitting, they made it a priority to adjust and fitting into each other's present. So I'm interested in how that goes, but I do think that they have a strong and firm foundation,
Hmm.
but I don't know how much ti uninterrupted time they've actually spent living together as a couple. So
Hmm.
I'm just ex interested,
Hmm.
excited,
Hmm.
curious to see what that's
I
like.
agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
they both have been like go 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 since his
Hmm.
like he has been super busy and Kelsey's been busy as well
Hmm.
too. You know,
Fashion
like
weeks and
yeah, like
you know.
brand trips, like collaborations. Like she's getting that bag, which
Hmm.
hey,
She is.
go girl. Like I'm not mad at it, but they've both been insanely busy. So I
Hmm.
am curious to see like what them settling into their lives look like.
Hmm.
Because even when you look at the more like the couples, the most recent couples that are still together, like I feel like Katie and Zach have a really good rhythm, and also influencing is not their number one job. Like I think
No.
Katie's still a
Mm-mm.
nurse,
Hmm.
and Zach also has a day job, if I'm not mistaken.
Good for
Um,
them. Blessed.
and then even with Charity and Dotun, I think Dotun has a day job, right? I don't think he can make money. Like I don't think
No, he's
influencing
not an
could
influencer.
fund.
Yeah, no one.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's not.
Mm.
People are
he
interested in
gets
him, but
deals
it's
here to
not.
there, but
Yeah,
that's not
no,
his
it's
main
not.
gig. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But it's
Um,
impressive.
I
Wow.
wonder what Grant, I am very curious to see what his post-Bachelor,
Music, Ashley,
like,
obviously.
well,
No, it's gonna be MLMs.
Oh yeah.
why were people so mad? That's one thing I want to investigate. Like, why did party girls make people so upset? Like, why were
They
people ready to,
misunderstood it. I think they thought, because I got the DMs, I got the DMs. People thought it was that he was just like at the club, like that he's at the club now currently. And obviously it was about the women at the night. Like he announced it, he dropped it on night
night
one
one?
where all of the
Mm-hmm.
girls, nights like this don't come around too often, you know?
Genesee.
What a poet.
It's
No,
clear as
I,
hell.
I, I Jenna's like, how did you not understand this? It was
What the
very
song is
clear.
How about you
about.
listen to the lyrics for once and then you come and talk to me about what you think Grant is his intention is with this season?
The lyricist of our time.
I, I mean,
Taylor
it's the
Swift, Beyonce, Grant
it's Grant
Ellis,
Ellis.
Grant Ellis.
That's her Spotify Unwrapped. That's what it's gonna look
literally.
If
like.
he's on your rap,
Yeah.
please.
Oh, you know it's gonna
Um,
happen. I'm not even fucking kidding.
I think okay. I will admit when the song first came out, I was kind of like, oh no, not another person on this show who's
Yeah.
trying to be a musician. And
Mhm,
I think there's a lot of different layers to this, but I
mhm,
do think one part of it is people having a sore spot about that for the show, period.
Yeah.
mhm,
Anytime somebody's on this show, like Jed got a lot of shit about it, right? When he was playing his guitar any damn minute. So a lot of people tend to be a little hard on folks who
mhm,
who have a musical talent and think they might be pushing some type of agenda, right?
yes.
But that did not correlate to the amount of shit Grant got. Like
Mhm.
it was like a completely different level of it. And I
Yeah.
think one, like there's definitely a racial component to it. Absolutely. Like a lot of people are harder on him because he is a black man. And I think a lot of people too, unfortunately, um, make assumptions about him based on how he looks.
Mhm,
He looks like he is tall with like with lighter skin. He has got all these tattoos. People think like, oh, you are an aspiring rapper slash singer slash Chris Brown wannabe. So they
Mhm.
just think you're a player immediately. And it's like,
mhm,
okay, well, you're fitting this player persona by releasing this song the first night of your show, which sounds like you being wanting party girls.
Hmm.
So I think, and it's not right, and it's a good fucking song.
I mean,
Thank you.
I support Bachelor artists who are good. Like, I love Logan. He actually is again released a really great song. He's really talented. He really is talented, and I think Grant, like, I feel like I'm like, leave Brittany alone. But Grant, which that also dates me. Sorry, Gen Z. Britney Spears is the pop star of our generation,
Generation. Yeah,
and
Hmm.
people were being really mean to her in 2007.
exactly.
Similar to, people just disproportionate hatred for Grant. And again, I think like Jenna said, if you break down the lyrics, like it's just a feel good song. Like Grant is hurting absolutely no one.
Absolutely
And I
not.
do think also the genre of music is not the Bachelor
That's the
people's
thing. Yeah, it's a rap song.
typical music.
So
So
like,
back in 2009 when I was a party girl, it would have went triple platinum in my house. So I
Fair.
do think I agree with everything you're saying. I didn't, he has not since came out with any subsequent singles. He is not on Instagram singing. He's not trying to get featured. He didn't ask Mario to be on the song. He's not out here at the Millennium Tour. Like he's not doing anything. He just released the song. I think he was just like, hey, this is fun. Um,
and I would
but I
hate to
think,
say, I would hate to see it. The hate that he got kept him from releasing more. And like
Yeah.
genuine, I'm like being so genuine about it because it
I
is a
know.
Hmm.
good song. It's not like a perfect song or whatever. You don't have to love it,
It's
but like,
fun.
but it's fun. So like,
Yeah,
why did all the hate? It's way better
yeah.
than the music I heard from anyone else from this franchise or any other bullshit. So
Well, you
like,
haven't listened to Logan,
okay,
to be
fair,
fair.
to be
Ashley has a
fair.
part-time job as
Yeah.
Logan's manager. I don't know
Sorry.
if she told y'all about
We all
that,
have our
but
duties. You're here for Joey and Kelsey. Ash
mhm.
is doing Logan. I'm taking care of Grant Ellis. Available now on Spotify, not on Apple Music, but you can get it on YouTube.
What?
It was
But
on Apple Music for like 2 days and then it got off for some
Knowing the
reason.
platforms is wild today.
yo, but
But I
it
I know that he's received hate from it, and he's even like joked about it and talked about it, and it's like
Yeah,
it makes me
yeah.
sad because like maybe he has more music he wants to release, and he's feeling nervous about it.
We'll
And I was
never
just
get
about to
it.
mention that, Jenna, too. Like I feel like he's just getting such a disproportionate amount
Yeah,
of hate for the
Yes,
things that he's doing.
yeah.
And
yes.
especially like he released that song so early and people just really wanted to pile on at the start of his
Hmm.
season. And they shouldn't, like, it was just not warranted. And
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
I feel like he really wants to just like have fun with social media and
Right,
everything gets picked apart. It's like
right.
he like you said, Ashley, like he's a millennial. He's gonna be a little cringy. Like there's a reason why I'm not making TikToks to dances and shit like that because I know I would look like a cringy millennial. But that doesn't
Hmm.
mean that people, if it brings you joy, you shouldn't do it. And
Right,
it's unfair that Grant is not allowed to have fun on social media
right.
because people are judging him more harshly. Like, you know who's fucking corny as hell? That
I know.
Jonathan guy from Gen Season. I can't
Oof.
stand his
I
posts.
thought
He
you were
is
gonna say
corny.
Clayton.
Oh, no, no, Clayton gets also too much hate. Let
But
that
he
man
does
just
it.
do his 1-2 step.
Yeah.
Let him do his 1-2 step.
You saw when
Okay.
he did it for Grant. He made a
Yes.
dance for Party Girls. I was like,
Yeah,
this is unity.
exactly.
The world is healing. Like
He
Yeah.
we
has gotten so better too. Like he
he
is
is
really
Yeah.
he is
Clayton.
good. So no,
Okay.
you will not find me hating on Clayton's dance moves over here. But what you will find me hating on is Jonathan,
Jonathan.
because he just is thirsty. Okay, that
So
man is
thirsty.
dying for attention, and it's sad that he can. It's okay if he does whatever he wants, because people find that endearing. And I don't know,
I think
but
people will get tired of
I
him
don't know who you're
eventually,
talking
especially
about.
if he's on Paradise.
the short
Jonathan, curly hair.
medium king from Gen Season who got that Paradise invite a whole year before
Oh,
Paradise was happening.
I forgot his
Now,
ass. Oh, well,
See.
and
I
period.
I just see him going in the way of B Mac Jones, and
And exactly, and
I am B Mac Jones's
exactly,
number one
and
hater, and
exactly.
I feel bad because people like him, but no.
People
Let's
like him.
go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Okay, sorry.
People like him after the shit he did.
Do
People
y'all?
like
That's
him. I just have always loved Serene, so I'm gonna ride 10
absolutely,
toes down for my girl. I don't
absolutely.
care.
I can't.
If
Does she have a new man yet?
people were saying in the, I don't, Serene, I'm not gonna
That
do this.
that he was with that she's with Brandon
Brandon.
from Tasha season.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, Serene, but yeah.
Wait, what?
The
Ta-
streets are saying she's with
I remember seeing a
bricklayer Brendan.
picture of speculation, but I didn't know that people are still
well,
thinking that.
I mean, yeah,
Just that one
just that
picture, I
one
think,
picture,
with
but
her
I
and
mean,
Bennett
Okay.
and
No,
Brendan.
I'm gonna need her to pull a Bree Springs and come out with a really handsome black king on her arm.
yeah,
I
please.
love Brie so much. She's like the prettiest person that's ever been on the show. She has the best style of anyone I've ever
No,
seen in
Matt
my
James had a
life.
very good cast.
Yep.
And back
Yeah.
to the earlier point.
Yep.
Chelsea, amazing, so interesting. Anything she
Gorgeous.
does, I just
Piper, another gorgeous girl.
oh
Mm-hmm.
Mari, I
oh
love me some
yeah.
Mari now.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Mari and Kenny.
The girl who, oh my God, what's her Ryan, who was Michelle's like bestie on the
Oh,
show.
love her. She's a
Love her.
teacher.
She's
She's really
gorgeous.
sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Another
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous, gorgeous girl.
And the girl
Um,
Kim, that was the night one girl. Do you
mhm,
remember her? She
mhm.
had the really
George.
pretty dress. I still
Yeah.
follow her. She
Yep.
got engaged, I think.
I just mentioned Jasenia. I thought
Hmm.
Jasenia, I think, is so underrated. I thought she was so beautiful, so
Yeah,
sweet.
she got done dirty in
Mm-hmm.
paradise.
She got done
Mm-hmm.
dirty, and it's funny because I was just looking at her because when I saw her engagement news, I was looking at her follower count, and I'm like, this is some bullshit. This girl was on Bachelor season and 2 seasons of Paradise and has like 84,000 followers, and that's it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Daisy Cottage Cheese has 1.5
Okay,
million.
so we should talk about that. We should talk about all these women
Yes.
that showed
Okay.
up.
Okay, they tried to trick us. I really think I don't want to. I don't. You could cut this, but I think they tried to like put people to make you think that okay, if Daisy's second place and having her sit with Juliana,
Mhm.
she's gonna be, or if Rachel. Well, I think Rachel and Zoe. That's the only one that was accurate.
There was no
Uh,
tricking us. We all knew Zoe was going home, except for
right.
Jenna. Jenna thought she was
I
staying,
was
but
like, oh yeah, this is fine.
Favorite colors: blue, cool,
Oh,
teal,
Teal's
great.
blue? Are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
Shut up, Zoe. Grant got it right.
he
Also,
did get it right.
did y'all look at? Okay, I feel really bad, and again, it could just be because I'm a millennial. Did Latia's clothes look crazy to y'all, or is it just me? Like, if people on her, she put on her story, like people were like, "This dress is sold out." It looked like she had the Meghan Markle or Meghan Sussex flower sprinkles on her dress. I respect Meghan Sussex. I love her.
Yeah,
That
Hmm.
show's
same
gone
here.
triple platinum in my household.
Yeah, yeah,
But it just looked like she put the flower sprinkles. You know, Megan put the flower sprinkles on everything.
yeah.
It looks like she put flower sprinkles on her dress. I just did. I thought it looked
And
like, I
the
don't know.
crochet hoe dress, that was
Yeah,
like
what was
Yeah,
interesting.
that's
that?
the one that was strange with the one sleeve.
Yeah,
Yeah, but also the dress from last night. Like, do
yeah.
you remember? Do you need me to pull it up?
No, we're saying it's
Yeah,
the one behind me, right?
Yeah, yeah. It had like
yeah,
confetti on it,
Yeah. No,
like
yeah.
spark. I
it's
don't know. It
strange.
looked like it had like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I didn't
But you know
like
what?
it.
I will say though, these women are better dressed than last season's women
Yeah.
because I don't know what the hell those girls were wearing. Like
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey is so beautiful, but
Oh, those shoes.
those block
Yeah.
she could not get rid of those Gucci block mules. She's like they're so
Yeah.
comfortable. I'm like they look ugly. What happened to a nice stiletto? And the
Yeah.
girls this season brought back a nice stiletto, and I really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that.
Zoe looked like a baddie in all white, but I was also
Oh,
like, girl,
yeah.
that all white is a bad sign. You
Hmm.
can't have a bridal shoot, show up at the rose ceremony in white. And you're giving
Hmm.
all these hints, and he just like eliminated her. But I thought she was the best
She looked best dressed,
dressed of
absolutely. Yeah.
She looks
The whole
good.
thing. Yeah.
Juliana's
three. I'm
red
like,
dress, Juliana's MAGA dress was cute too.
Yeah,
stop it.
the MAGA jewelry, the fucking
All right, I'm
Avon
gonna head out.
shit. Her bad tan
Yeah.
line, like she forgot to put fucking
Yep.
sunscreen on. Yeah, bitch. The sun's
Yeah,
coming for you because your
yeah.
politicians been ruining the planet.
Hmm.
Oh, stop. But Grant, I liked his little suit. I felt like it was one that he would actually wear
Yeah.
on his
Oh my
own.
god, it's giving salmon coat. I just
Yeah.
It is given
realized.
salmon.
Ah.
And okay, so my pet peeve though was that it was not buttoned, and I always like I feel like if a man is because like one thing I noticed is when Jesse came up, his suit jacket was buttoned, and typically if you're standing up, your shirt, your blazer should be buttoned,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and Grant's was not, and that really irked me. I was like, Carrie, why didn't you tell Grant to button his dang blazer?
Maybe he was sending us a distress signal. Like, I'm not okay.
I'm not
I
okay.
cannot communicate.
I have
I'm not
But I'm just
okay.
gonna leave my
And
Oh, yeah.
also, wasn't
day.
his goodbye to Zoe kind of strange too? Sorry, we're jumping all
Yeah.
over the place.
No, it
Yeah,
was.
sorry.
Yeah. It was great. It was crazy. And it just, I don't know. It, I was like, last night I said, as she's saying goodbye to him, she was so calm. She was like too calm. And I was
She was crying.
Well, no, in the car she was, but like when she was
In the
talking
car,
to
yeah.
him, it was pretty calm.
Yeah.
And I mean, a little tear here and there, but it was like pretty calm. And then I had this like crazy premonition. I said she's gonna pull a Nick Viall next week, where she's like, "If you didn't love me, then why did you make love to me?" kind of
Oh,
thing. And I don't know if that's gonna happen, y'all, but I needed my prediction out there.
oh.
I could see her
Um,
doing that.
yeah,
I
because
just think she's
Zoe
gonna be
is
on
real.
Paradise.
She's like she will say she'll be like,
That won't stop her from being on Paradise.
yeah,
I just
exactly.
want. She's gonna be such a baddie. If the Lord knew not to give me Zoe's body, because I would be
She's gorgeous. And now she
like,
got that bob, and I love that bob she
she
got right
looks
now.
so
She
good. I
looks
feel
so
like
good.
just like her body is what you know what everyone's like. How does she make it to the top three? I was like, have y'all looked at Zoe? Who was doing it
Hmm
like Zoe? No one.
No
No,
one.
she's
So
gorgeous. And she
Um,
looked,
yeah,
and she dressed like her outfits were all really nice too.
every
every
time,
The whole
time.
short
season,
dress and all, every time.
yeah.
Mm. And give the gay representation here, y'all. She dressed more sexy for her meeting with Rachel than she did with Grant. And I and
You knew the vibes.
yeah, I was like, okay. Because I was like, damn, this would be a hot couple. Rachel and her?
They're both
Ugh.
so pretty.
Oh, they're
I
so
want Rachel to
pretty.
go on Paradise, but I'm also like
Protect
protect
your
her
peace.
peace.
Yeah,
But
Protect your
Rachel
absolutely.
peace,
should have
mama.
been well, I don't want to say should have been because I don't want to get anybody in a tussle.
No, I know, but
But Rachel would have been an
a great
amazing
bachelorette.
bachelorette. And if
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
she hadn't
Absolutely.
have had all the hate
Absolutely.
and vitriol from
Bachelor
the
Nation.
fans, I
Yeah.
think she would have done it.
No, so true.
She would have been a fantastic bachelorette.
So what I found very interesting is back to our conversation about who they brought in. I was like, well,
Mhm.
who are they gonna get for Miss Latia? They brought Katie out of retirement.
Mhm.
And one that answers the question we had a couple weeks ago, why
Yes.
Latia went and hung out with Katie and the girlies. I
It's
love
been
that.
driving me nuts, Jenna, because
Yeah.
apparently Gabby went on the pod, which is Ashley I and
Mm,
Ben Higgins podcast. And when she explained how they knew Latia, it just didn't sound
right.
right.
Yeah. Something's
I was
up.
just like, I was like, you're fucking lying. Like
Mhm.
something's not right here.
Yeah.
And this answered the question that we've been dying to figure out. And I'm like, now this makes more sense. Like
I
Gabby
why?
was.
Elnicky. Gabby Elnicky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Gabby. Yep.
And I
Because
was
all the
like,
girls have been hanging out like
yeah.
multiple times because they went on that birthday trip,
Yeah.
and
hmm
then they were all in. I think was it Austin recently?
Texas.
Texas. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, they were
Same
in some
thing.
city. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But also, I can't figure out, does Latia still live in Utah right now?
Good question.
Oof.
I just don't know why it
She's
bothered
ready to
everybody
move.
so much. That was what was making me mad. Like, why do y'all care if she's friends with them?
Well, it
Like,
didn't bother me, but I was wondering if it
I was
was like a
curious.
weird spoiler. I was kind of like,
mm,
because I think what I propositioned on the episode that we talked about it was like that she won basically because she's in on the inner fold now, like
I
See,
don't.
I thought opposite. I thought
Me
that she
too.
didn't win
Me
because
too.
I was like, she's doing her bachelorette campaign.
Me
She's
too.
rubbing elbows with Bachelor Nation folks
that's smart.
Me
to,
too.
to
Yeah.
stay top of mind. Because I feel like the winners are normally very low key. Like
And
True.
they're
secluded.
busy, very secluded,
hmm
protected. They're only going to like, what do you call it? The home,
Steakhouse visits.
yeah, the steakhouse
I
visits. So
know, but
that's what I
that
Or
could
thought.
be a
it's not called
red
safe house.
herring
That
though.
sounds
You
witness
call it a
protection.
steakhouse visit?
I said safe house, but isn't it? It's not safe house. It's what's it called?
She said safe house, and I think I said steakhouse.
But what is it called? Is it safe house? It's not safe house.
No,
It's
Happy
like
there is a
couple
word for it.
happy
weekend.
Happy
couple.
couple. Jail for all of
Witness
us.
protection. Okay.
God, this is the best episode I've ever recorded in my life. Okay. Damn.
Random, but do you
Steakhouse.
remember on Fresh Prince when Will and them went and witness protection? Do y'all remember that?
No, I do not remember that
There was a
episode.
random episode where they were like living in like a. I'll
What?
have to find it for you, but yeah.
Please do.
Okay, sorry. That's where I
Okay,
got
sorry,
sick.
Jenna. You're
Oh.
saying.
But they brought Katie out, and it was just
Mhm.
perfect. Honestly, it was. Me and Connie were screaming our asses off because it was honestly perfect. Because the way she was just like, "Well, listen, my man, he wasn't gonna fuck anyone, and then he fucked one of them, and immediately told me, and I wish he hadn't because I know what's the deal, and I loved it because what was interesting about it is the whole previews were like, Lucia's gonna be so Maddie coded. We were all prepped for her being so Maddie coded and being like, if you fuck another woman, I'm gone. And that wasn't the case at all. She just was like, I want him to know that I'm not gonna fuck, and that's it. and he was obviously cool with that because he's a nice person and
Hmm.
not a fucking douchebag. And
Hmm.
that wasn't even dramatic at all. Like we all knew he'd be okay
No.
with it. Come on, it's like it's not fucking
Katie,
Right.
Ari.
Katie gave her great advice.
No, it was
That was I'm
iconic.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Katie
But
also looked amazing.
I
The
she
know,
looked
yeah.
brow,
Oh,
so
hair.
pretty.
oh, iconic. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, marry
I was like, I
me.
forgot that he did that. I
Yeah.
forgot that. That was good
Oh no
episode.
no no! I don't forget, especially since every time I see her and Gabby together, I remember the fact that he fucked her. I was like, he fucked her best friend.
And they're still
You said that
friends.
so hard.
I know I did,
That's how it is in your head, though. It's
but
like,
every time I see them together, I'm like, especially, and then if you bring Charity in, I'm like, oh, kissed her. Oh, and they hang out with Ariel too. So I'm like, oh
I
yeah,
forgot about her.
y'all
Well,
are like a harem.
and it's oh my god. Now I'm thinking they all fucking swing. Secret Lives, Bachelor
I was about to say
Lives.
that's the show that comes on after the show goes off.
I would
Wrong show.
live. No, but I was just like, and I was telling my girlfriend this because she didn't, never had seen the show. This is their first season watching it with me. And
Hmm.
what a season to watch. They're loving it, by the way. They're actually like so
Good,
into it.
good.
It's so really cute. They're having the time of their life. But they were like, I was just like, you don't understand. I said, I was really fucked at the time though. And in the end, it worked out. But I said, it was fucked at the time because imagine telling, I'm not going to fuck with any of these and then fuck one of them, not fuck another, and then try to fuck the last one. I said, like, I would have, as Katie, I would have more preferred you fucked both of them even okay, I more preferred you had said I'm not fucking any, and I fucked both of them because you know what? At the real time, I realized I need to explore these connections.
I
Whatever.
get
I would
your
have been like,
logic.
yeah,
I get your
okay,
logic.
Who
great.
was the other girl?
Ariel.
Ariel.
Oh,
And that's the one that I was sure he slept with. I was
right.
like,
Because
oh, he's
people
fucking
thought she
her.
was more
Yeah.
like traditionally. What was I going to say? I, oh, gosh, why did my thought just leave my head?
Oh no.
I think that, oh, that's what I was gonna say. So you can, and but I think that producers are again, like Epiphany said, you know which girl to send when, and you're gonna send the
Hmm.
strongest connection last to produce the maximum amount of drama. They sent
Mm-hmm.
Susie last, they sent
Mm-hmm.
Katie last, they
Mm-hmm.
sent Latia last, they sent
Wasn't
Maddie
Daisy
last. Like
Daisy last too?
Mm-hmm.
who?
Was
Daisy?
Daisy last?
I
I can't
blocked this.
remember.
I don't
I
remember.
don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and no,
It
you make a
sounds
really
like she
good point.
was. Let's just say she was.
Just
Yeah.
as she was.
Hmm.
Yeah, because Rachel, I think, got injured early. I think Rachel was first,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and then
Hmm.
it might have been Kelsey, and then it might have been
Hmm.
Daisy.
Mm-hmm.
That
But
memory.
No,
I,
it was
you
because
know,
Daisy was like, I don't really feel comfortable with you having. She didn't wasn't like a big like don't. No, she was just more like I'm really unsure of this process kind of vibe. So
Hmm.
like it was dramatic.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I am just so, I am tired of this show not being innovative because they just
Hmm.
keep on doing the same shit.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
every season, Fantasy Suites, it's the same fucking
Hmm.
thing. You've got someone who's like, oh man, I don't know how I feel about them sleeping with other people. It's just like clockwork and it happens all the time. And it's just,
Hmm.
let's do something else. Like,
Hmm.
why don't you cast some really like secure women who are not gonna freak out during fantasy suites. And I understand that's a human emotion, but it's just like it happens every time. It's kind of like at some point, I'm just like people keep on acting like they don't know what the show is.
Yeah.
Right.
And I understand
Every time.
once you're in it, it's different. I know, like your
Mm-hmm.
emotions change. I totally understand that,
Hmm.
but it, it's just so expected at this point. And I'm
Hmm.
like, do I really need to see another woman
Hmm.
getting frustrated about the fact that the lead is potentially intimate with other
Hmm.
people?
Hmm.
I just am tired of it. Or
Me
it's just
too.
the same shit.
I.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
switch up the order. Put the
Yeah.
Yeah.
strongest girl first. Like if Katie had gone first, maybe Zach would not have slept with Gabby, but they just want the maximum amount of drama. And yeah, there's not much that they can do other than Zach telling Katie. I feel like that's the last true surprise we've had in a
Mm-hmm.
fantasy suite
But didn't
situation.
Clayton do the same thing with Susie?
Oh
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
the same
Mm-hmm.
fucking thing because Susie was last
Mm-hmm.
and
Hmm.
it was Susie. It was the same. Oh my God. It was the
But that
same
was a good
thing.
conversation because they were finally being real at that table. I was like, oh
They were.
snap.
Yeah.
I
And the
remember sitting
difference
up from the couch like, wait a minute, this is getting a little
and the difference is he actually slept with both of the girls. So
right.
he slept with both Rachel
Right. Yeah. And
and
Susie,
Gabby.
and I
So
guess there was
That
the plot. I guess that takes my point away. But yeah, I mean, it's different people, different feelings. But Susie, I guess, was
mm,
didn't have the same feeling I did, where I would have been like, okay, that's fine. You had sex with both of them. That's okay. you know.
mhm.
But
These men need to stop telling women's business. All right. You
yeah.
need to
that's what Zach did that really pissed me off because Gabby was gonna
Hmm.
take that to the
the grave.
grave with her.
Yeah.
And that was so dramatic. She was like,
He took her choice away.
Yeah. And especially considering how close she and Katie are, I think she
Right,
just really I think she would have preferred to if she were to ever tell her to tell her herself or
right. And I think the only person that handled that immaturely was Zach. Like Katie
Mhm.
handled it well,
yeah.
Gabby handled it correctly. He was the only one that had such a guilty conscience, and I bet the producers were in his head the whole day. Like, I don't know how you're gonna be with Katie. Like, you could just see his brain just like spiraling, and he had to tell her. He could have even waited till they were off camera. He just could not. I feel like they just, I don't know.
He was
And I know and I
sweating.
know the producers were like peeing their pants when he
Hmm.
was like when he made that blanket statement, I'm not gonna sleep with anybody. And they were like, hell yeah. They were like,
Send her in.
there goes our episode. That's what we talking about.
Send her in.
Cause ain't nobody tell him to do that.
No,
We're
that
we're
was unprompted.
we're get as many oysters as possible. We're making our boy horny. He needs to be horny. Let's get him real horny. No, I
Which
Yeah.
love
is
it.
crazy because the last horny episode was Hannah and Tyler. So
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
hasn't been no horniness since then.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we need to really
Yeah.
spice it up. I agree, Epiphany. We need to let them all watch them have sex.
I mean, I didn't say that, but okay, Jenna.
Yeah.
But on Love Island, when they go to Casa Amor, on Love Island USA
Yeah.
specifically,
Mhm.
they will send them like clips
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
like on their phones, they'll see like a clip of I'm thinking of Aaron and the girl in Casa Amor. So maybe,
A little bit
oh,
of
here's a
that.
video. I don't know how to do it. Like I
Yeah.
feel like there needs to be just
This
enough.
show is too wholesome. They would never.
Well, I don't know if they would send them a clip of them. Like, I just feel like they could like happen to like walk
Yeah.
under
Mhm.
her balcony,
Mhm.
like, and like she could hear like, is that Grant? Like, I know that ain't Grant. Kiki with
Uh-huh.
Like
Uh-huh.
that
something like
sound
that. Something a
that
little
sounds
I
different.
need that.
familiar.
That's exactly it, Ashley. That's what I need.
What they
I know
should
that ain't
do is
Grant.
they should use that to spice up Paradise. That's what they should do.
I
Mhm.
am. I feel like we have paid our dues with these 2 seasons,
Yeah.
and if Paradise is not better, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna be upset. I'm just interested in the format. I know if they can cut it down to an hour. Okay. We don't
That's
need
what they
2.
should do. It should be an hour long. It does not need to be that long.
It needs to be every day,
Mhm.
like Love Island, 6 weeks, every
Every
day.
day.
And
God
let me
damn
vote.
it.
Yeah.
Just be Love Island.
Just
Just
Okay,
be
so you just
be,
want it to be Love Island. You
just
just want
be.
but with
gotcha.
bachelor people, like people I know, that's
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
yeah.
The voting aspect, you don't understand the power that I have. Like, when I was watching Love Island UK, I got somebody on X who was voting for me in the UK. Okay, my voice was being heard. I feel like I need to be able to get people off the island on Bachelor in Paradise. I would have kicked so many people off. I would have made so many people go on dates because you could send
Mm-hmm.
them off. Like
Hmm.
they just need a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be the producer. They need a little more audience
Yeah.
Yes.
interaction.
Yeah.
They really, really do.
I mean,
That's my suggestion.
it has so much potential. Like, for one thing, the show has been off the air for what has it been a year or two?
A full summer. We didn't have last
It was
summer at
like,
all.
We didn't
yeah,
have last summer, so
Yeah.
so technically it'll be 2 years then, right?
Yeah, we've
If we
had
didn't
like
have it last
4 or
summer.
5 seasons in between. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're gonna have so many people to
yeah,
pick from cast. So like
Yeah.
they have the potential to put together the most chaotic and interesting cast ever.
they do.
And so there's a lot of potential there. On
There
top of that, I
really.
believe there's a new producer, showrunner.
Mm-hmm.
So
Summer House. He did Summer House.
oh, okay. So
even though I love Summer House.
maybe he'll be willing, maybe by making that hiring choice, they're willing to switch things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it needs to be switched up. Like,
yeah.
do we need Wells to be bartending still? I don't know about that.
I
Well,
hope
I
they
hope he
really
gets
killed
kicked
him
off
on
the first
Traitors.
episode like he did on Train. That was good to me.
That was
Yeah,
good to me.
I did not
good
want
to
him
No,
on that
Gabby
show.
should take his
me.
job. Gabby should be the new bartender.
Oh,
Listen,
now we did it.
cut Gabby a check.
Now we're
Gabby Wendy is bartender? Hell
cooking.
yeah.
Now
Cut
we are
Gabby a check.
cooking.
And Rachel, let's not forget, I
Why
love my
not?
girl,
Put them
Rachel Recchia
together.
down.
She
I
can.
don't think she should go back because she's
No.
above it now. But like she can host a cute little date or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gabby
But
would
the
be
good thing about Gabby
amazing.
is that she is a lesbian and she has a wife now, so there's
She's not
no
interested at all.
not interested on anybody with anybody on that beach. Rachel,
And
I
I
she
think
love
will
is
it.
tell it how it is, and she'll be like,
yes.
"Guys, being
I love it.
Yes.
I don't think they have enough money for Gabby.
a-"
They
and that's
don't.
it. Well, but she hasn't been paid yet, so maybe she's willing to do it.
Oh, she still hasn't. She still hasn't been paid for traders.
Yeah.
I'm starting the
Lord.
petition now. Gabby for bartender.
I love it. The way she has, like, other Bachelor people should really, truly, she should teach a master class. Are they still
Mhm.
doing those? She
She
should teach
should.
a master class on being yourself,
Yeah.
Mhm.
leveraging your platform authentically,
Mhm.
like speaking out on issues that are important to you. I don't think she can teach them how to be funny.
No, that comes naturally
That's
to
too
her.
tall of a task.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
Yeah.
she's had an amazing trajectory, and I'm really happy for her.
Me too. I'm so excited.
Great.
It's really, it's truly nothing more than I could have ever hoped for. And the fact that she's gay now too, it's just like, goddamn, like we really
Did you
won.
manifest this,
I
Jen?
really did.
She
I
really
really
did.
feel
She
like,
manifested it.
yeah,
She's the first person to ever tell. The first time I ever heard anything about Gabby potentially being a lesbian is
Was
Jenna.
from
Jenna.
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 And actually, case in point, earlier in this episode, when Ashley, you said the last time you felt anything was on Tyler Cameron, or maybe it was whoever Tyler Cameron came out on stage and
Mhm.
was with Hannah. That's the last time you felt something. I said the last time I felt something was when Gabby and Rachel were on stage and they found out they were going to be bachelorettes and they hugged each
That
other
was so
and
cute.
touched each other's hair, and I was like, oh my god, my gay alarm went off in such a major way. I was making I was making edits,
You
fan
were.
cams
You were
like a
ahead of your
psychopath.
time.
And then it came true.
Again, I did. What do I need to manifest? Teach me. There's some people. Okay,
Truly.
what do I want to manifest?
Yeah, I know.
I'll come back for a subsequent
Yeah.
episode because I want
Yeah,
to
it's
make sure.
fabulous. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, but speaking of which, we do need to unfortunately wrap up because we all have morning times and jobs. We have
My
to-
bedtime.
Oh my god! But this has been the best time I've ever had. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being on. We have to do this again. I mean, I need you on for Paradise. The threesome. This is a very good combination, in my opinion.
Oh, we have to absolutely come back for Paradise.
Mhm.
You guys are the
Or maybe
best.
even when the cast list is announced.
Oh,
I
that's
think
a
we
good
have
idea.
a lot of thoughts.
A dream draft. Who I
Yes.
don't want.
Yes.
Also, there's a lot of people I don't want to see.
Let's do that.
Oh, there's
Okay,
people
let's do it.
I could never see again, and I would be very happy with that.
Yeah. People are gonna
Like,
mute when they're on
Don't
screen.
like don't even think about putting Devin on that fucking beach.
Oh, God. Don't even put that in the air. Take it
He has
back.
a girlfriend now. He has a girlfriend now. He has a girlfriend now.
Oh, thank
I
God.
hate him so much. I just wish people would stop. Like, I just hate him so much. He's the person I hate the most. And you got to think about that
That's
Nick
a lot.
Viall
Yeah,
out in the world.
Wow. Out of all the racists that's been on this show, it's crazy that he's the one that you hate the most, but fair.
Oh, no. I meant man. Oh, well.
Oh.
Dang.
Mhm.
Should I walk that back too? Is there a worse man than him?
Every man that's Luke sucks. No, but I think he's the worst.
No, he's
Is
the
there-
worst.
He's the worst. He's the
No,
worst.
no, Devin's really, really bad. He was
He's
so
really bad.
bad.
The worst
Ugh.
man?
He like there's a restraining order. Like there was a restraining order out against him. Like he just sucks.
Mhm.
He wasn't. I think it also made it worse that he wasn't even cute. I'm like, how dare you break up with Jen and then release these? Like, what?
That's crazy.
The audacity.
I just knew she broke up with him. I was.
That was well, you know, those producers are now gone because it was hard watching that finale.
They
It-
brainwashed her if she was thinking like
that it was
something
okay to do it. Yeah.
something happened.
It was hard to watch. It was
I
tough.
just wish she is a case textbook example. If she had just a little bit more time, people who actually loved her to be like, what's going on with him? Wait a minute, girl.
Mm-hmm.
And to be stuck,
Mm-hmm.
like her final two was him and Marcus.
Mm.
Oh my God, it was a nightmare.
She's owed more compensation.
It was a
Absolutely.
nightmare.
Whatever they paid her was not enough.
Truly double
Absolutely.
it.
And they like threw Dancing with the Stars at her, like here's a bone, here's something.
Not enough.
Not enough.
I don't know.
Give her another season of Dancing with the
Absolutely.
Stars.
They didn't even put her
She
on
did
the
get
freaking
kicked off too
tour.
soon.
God.
Put her on the Traitors.
Oh!
No, seriously. And they really did fuck up because they put two Bachelor Nation people on at the same time. Like
That's how you
anybody
know it
going
was
up
bad.
against Joey, he's gonna get all the votes.
That's how you know it was bad. They were like, we got to
Mhm.
do something because we're cooked. It's Devin.
Make her the bartender, for fuck's sake. Shot o'clock.
Will she be on Paradise? Jen on Paradise could be the vibe. Now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I feel like she's in PA school now, though. She's busy. Dang.
And isn't she supposed like she might be dating her Dancing with the Stars
I think they're doing it for
partner.
clicks.
You don't think it's real?
I don't know.
I go back and forth. It depends
Yeah.
on the day. Today, I think it's fake.
Because you want to see her on sand. Okay, yeah, exactly.
I think she would be good.
Yeah, exactly.
On even days, it's fake, but on odd days, they're actually dating.
I mean, she was living with him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But now she has
I
her own
don't know.
apartment, so it's like now
She
it's
moved
just
back to
kind of-
Miami, though.
Yeah,
But he's
yeah.
commenting on asking for recipes. So again,
I think regardless of what it is, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no.
It's not long. Like
It's
there's
what I
just no
want.
way. Like
Yeah.
because I think the reason him and his ex-wife broke up was because he was ready to have kids like right now, and
Yeah.
she wanted to have some more time.
Yeah.
And Jen is in the middle of PA school. She's not looking to start a family at this
No,
very moment.
so. Mm.
Paradise it is.
Paradise. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So we'll have you back on, and we'll do
Please.
Paradise.
Sorry.
That's how it is. No, oh my God, that's why we have to do it. I love you guys. Make sure you're
Love
following
you.
Ash Talks Tea, and Epiphany. I'll have all the links in the episodes as usual. Slide into the DMs and talk to them. They have good opinions about the show. You guys just heard
Party
an
girls.
hour plus of that. Anything you guys have to say tonight? That's it.
You know,
Praying for
No.
Grant.
you know when he said, what did he say? Something my demise.
He
Was
did.
my demise.
Yeah,
He
come
was
back.
like-
He said, "Stay tuned for my demise."
He's funny.
Like,
He's like,
He's funny.
Damn, I was like, poor
he's
Grant.
funny. Poor
But
Grant.
yeah, pray for Grant. Pray for
Yeah.
Grant, y'all. Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Send
Oof.
him love.
And just,
Stream his song.
dream a song. Party Girl by Grant Ellis on.
Follow him. Follow him on socials if you don't already.
Yes, do it.
Show
Follow
him
on
some
TikTok.
love.
Show him love.
Yes.
Give him a heart emoji,
How
okay?
do they do it? I don't know how
I know.
to.
I can't do it that way.
It's so confusing. Is it this? Is it? Am I doing it?
I don't
Okay.
know if I'm doing it or not.
I'm gonna take a screenshot of this later. Okay,
This
love you
has to be-
guys. Bye.